Example 4, suppose that for a particular month in a particular country, the monthly rate of inflation is 0.8%. Okay, what's the annual rate of inflation if the annual rate is 12 times the monthly rate? Okay, so we're going to write an exponential function for the inflation, let Q naught represent the price at when time is 0, and Q represent the time at T months later. So the monthly inflation, R is 0.8%, so it'd be 0.008. Okay, so Q would equal Q naught. Q naught's the initial amount, by the way, times 1 plus the rate. So 1 plus 0.008, and then to the power of T. Okay, so there's your, and we can clean this up. Q equals Q naught 1.008 to the power of T. Okay. Now, because R is given per month, T must be measured in months in this equation. So T's got to be in months. Therefore, we find the annual inflation rate. So we substitute 12 into the equation. Let's substitute 12 in the equation for T. So Q equals Q naught 1.008 to the power 12. So 1.008 to the power 12. So it'd be 1.100. So Q equals 1.100 Q naught. Okay. So the price after a year is about 1.1 times the initial price. So basically after a certain year, this is the inflation, the effective inflation, which we can talk a lot about inflation right now. So the price is the annual rate 12 times. I was supposed to say, okay, so it's 1.1 times the initial price, which means the annual inflation rate is 10%. Okay, because it's 10% because it's going up by, it's 1.1 times that. So, which is more than, note the annual rate is more than 12 times the monthly rate. So the annual rate would be 12 times 0.8%, which would be 9.6%. The reason that inflation compounds with each passing month, much like compound interest. In this case, the 9.6% found by multiplying the monthly rate by 12 is analogous to the APR quoted for interest-bearing account with monthly compounding. So while the annual inflation rate is analogous to the annual yield, APY. So on this one, is it 12 times? So we know that if we did 12 times 0.8%. I'll keep that in terms of percents there because I'm just doing the percent. 12 times 0.8 be 9.6%. Okay. So inflation, so 9.6 is a quote, it's close to the so this would be close to this right here. This would be like 10%. So the annual rate, which is around 10%, is around 12 times the monthly rate. So I mean, you could say they're basically, they're very, very similar. So basically very similar.